Michael Angelo flow. Michael Angelo flow. I paint pictures with poses.
Hi, I'm Anne here for tBubble with Michael Angelo. How are you doing today?
Spiffy as always.
So we heard that you recently released a new album, so
Yes.
I was going to ask if there was anything you wanted to share about that, or...
Yeah, basically, just released a new project. It's called the Rough Sketch First Draft. Basically, it's the first of a series of projects that I'm coming out with. It's basically, it just kind of reflects the feeling that I had at the time of the city. Basically, the series of projects kind of represent the seasons. So this one is particularly about like the winter season. So a lot of it is like really cold, dark, melancholy kind of tracks. So just kind of represent a feeling of just something like you would listen to in like a winter night. If you're sitting in the home or you're just driving in like very cold weather. Just something that you can kind of like just feel during that period of time.
Did you draw from any personal experiences for that?
Well, I guess not a particular personal experience, but more or less just like, just a series of feelings I was feeling at the time during the winter. Because I feel like people listen to music in particular moods. So, maybe like if it's summer, they might want to listen to something more uplifting. If it's like fall, they might want to listen to something a bit more relaxing. So I use my experience that, in the wintertime, I want to listen to something that's really kind of raw, really kind of gritty, really kind of like urban in that sense. So that's basically the experience I used to create this particular project.
Great. Are there any top tracks on there that are your favorite, or are they all just your babies?
Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of my babies, but I think, the first single, the one I have a video for, is called Mean What I Say. It's basically just a track about, like, speaking about what you feel and relating to that in a song and making sure that is, and making sure that what you write about is something that you feel from a personal perspective. And then I have the song called Tough Love, which is based on a true story about me talking to a friend who's down and out and trying to kind of like uplift him and make him feel better about himself. Then I also have this track called Broken Pianos. I'm releasing a video for that one soon. It's basically a song about isolation and kind of like doing your own thing when no one else may be understanding what you do. So, just basically like things like that.
Great. And now being an artist must take up a lot of time, and you have a family, and a child.
Yeah,
how do you manage to balance all of that?
It's basically just priorities, and just figuring out the rhythm for yourself. Like I'm kind of a night person, night owl, so I do most of my stuff at night. So it just basically like, when you're in that kind of position where when you're juggling multiple responsibilities, you kind of need to figure out like, how to, make sure each one gets the proper attention, because all of that reflects in your music, and what you do as a musician reflects in the way you treat people, the way you behave, like, your mannerisms. So you want to make sure that, you're still a whole person, that you're not just like focusing everything on one aspect. So, you may not be able to do everything you want at a particular time, but, in the end, it all works out, so.
And have you always been able to prioritize so well, or did it take a lot of experience?
No, I mean, I guess it takes a lot of experience because, you are, it's a learning process. And, as you're growing with your music, you're growing as a person as well. So because of that, things change, things become a bit more pressing, situations come up you may have to deal with. And, like I said, that's all experience that you can use into your music as well. So it's just basically allowing yourself to grow and, allowing yourself to, prioritize and just move at your own pace. So.
And getting your own album out, that must be a huge struggle. I mean, who did you talk to get that to happen?
Well, basically, I have a group of producers that I work with. I have like, a DJ that I work with. Some graphic designers, mixing engineers, also had an artist to work on the album cover. So yeah, I had like, a series of people that I had to talk to and basically, talk to them like simultaneously, but in a particular order. Basically, like I need this done at a particular time, or this needs to coincide with this, or speaking to the videographer about the video, like this concept has to match with this song, like this. So it's about like seeing the whole picture and being able to address the individual pieces as you go along. So I had to speak to a bunch of people, but they were all on the same wavelength. So.
And from that extensive network, did you have a lot of Northeastern alums?
Yeah, I mean, one of the, like a few of the people that I work with were people that I met here, and when I was going to Northeastern. So, it's all about like, just reconnecting with your peoples and making sure that line of communication stays open, and that you are, that you're just basically approachable, and that you can like speak to people for help if you need to, because everyone's on their own hustle. So, and they're supporting them will also support you in the long run. So, it's all love.